tonight, and they'll go up against Justin Verlander. Verlander pitching for the Astros, obviously, against Daniel Norris for the Tigers. You can do that game right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Well, Stoney, we've put it out there.
If we can sit there and talk about college football, we wouldn't get any calls. But you know what? Talk about people losing their limbs, people call them.
Heather's loving this topic. Like, for example, this one. Levi in New Baltimore. I also cut my finger cutting bagels at a bagel bakery. Sliced the tip of my middle finger right down to the bone.
Ooh.
Like, you know those bagel shops where they have the actual, that metal chute?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you can hear the blades. It's like, can you imagine getting anywhere near that? A buddy of mine crushed a portion of his finger off when he got his finger caught in the press when he worked at Discount Tire a few years ago.
Ooh.
It's lucky he didn't lose the entire finger. I was doing a shoulder workout with weights, and I popped my ribs out of place, and you could see them sticking out the front of my chest.
Oh!
What?
Yeah.
Yikes.
That happens to me when I do my ab workouts.
Your ribs pop out?
No, my abs.
Oh, your abs pop out. Oh, yes.
Gargantuan. At work, I put a hollow pin through my finger roughly a year ago, and I still don't have feeling in my fingertip. When I was 12 years old, first day of summer, I went trail riding with my friends on my bike, slipped off the metal pedal. The metal pedal cut my shin about 5 inches long down to the bone and required 40 stitches. Not a good sight for a 12-year-old. Now, I can imagine. All right, let's go to Rob in East Lansing on 97.1 The Ticket. Hello, Rob.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. My first game as a varsity high school football player, I want to say it was the opening kickoff, but kickoff happens and our best player just comes screaming off the field, and he loses the tip or about half of his finger was smashed between two helmets. It was disgusting. So they literally stopped the game and each team lined up sideline to sideline, and we walked towards each other. Somebody, I think it was someone on our team, found the finger, they put it in ice, and they run to the hospital, and they reattached it. So it was quite traumatic experience.
Oh my God! So you did like a shoulder-to-shoulder finger search on the field.
Yeah, we stopped the game, and we walked towards each other, and the guy that found him, I think, was on our team, and it's fine though, because he ended up getting reattached. He walked out at Michigan State, so all was good.
Wow, next man up. And then you, of course, concluded the game.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you keep playing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He didn't.
If he's tough, he would.
Damn right.
I mean, Ronnie Lott, play with 5, play with 9 fingers instead of 10. You don't need that 10th. Can you imagine that the first game you've ever played in high school, and then within the first few minutes, someone literally loses a finger? Loses a finger, Stoney.
That's unbelievable.
All right, David in St. Clair, you're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hello, David.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good.
All right.
So, basically, one day I was at work, not really at work, I was kind of helping my dad out, and I had a 1-inch hammer drill, and it was kind of cold out, so I was wearing some gloves, which I normally never do.
For the layman like me and Stoney, what's a hammer drill? What is that?
It's a drill that spins and kind of, it moves back and forth, so
Okay.
it can chip through concrete.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And just happened to put my hand in the wrong spot, and it just grabbed onto my fingers and spun them around it. Basically, I couldn't stop the drill because I stuck my fingers into the drill, pulled the hammer drill around, and locked my hand in place.
Oh my God.
So I was just jamming my fingers and constantly spinning. And I basically, when I got to stop, I pulled out, my fingers were a U.
Oh! Now what's the pain like? Are you screaming?
Were you?
No, actually, the first thing I did is grab my fingers and put them all back in place. That was they were all out of place. I had 15 breaks and,
Man.
a few other things. Yeah, it was rough.
How old were you?
This is actually last year.
Oh, last year.
I was 28.
So what does your hand feel like now? Is it totally normal, or does it still have some...
Actually, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, because the doctor originally wanted to pin it, and
And I said I didn't want to panic because I had to go back to work. So he said, just get in your car and grab onto the steering wheel. So I said, okay. And I got in the car and he said, just move your fingers so they don't get stiff.
And now they're back to normal.
And now they're back to normal, yeah. We can make a fist and everything.
Wow.
You shake hands, it doesn't hurt or
Oh my
anything.
gosh.
Yeah, no, it doesn't hurt. I mean, sometimes you get pain in like the winter, you know, but other than that, yeah, it feels great actually, surprisingly.
Good. All right, David, thank you very much. I appreciate the phone call. I'm just trying to, I have a hard time picturing the way he described it. And then what do you say his fingers were a U?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
What
then
does that mean? Like they were...
Greg just gave the U from the University of Miami.
Yeah, I don't think his fingers were automatically formed into U. It is like they were mangled in such a way. Wow.
That happened to Paul Serra as a kid. It's never been
I
since.
know, it's crazy. Let's go to Greg in Novi on 97.1 The Ticket. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning. Wow, I told your screener, I said it's hard to know which story to tell because I had an interesting
Really?
outlook. Oh, yeah.
That's never good.
I could tell you about almost cutting my right wrist off, but I chose to go a different way.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
When I was in high school, I had to take city buses downtown. I went to Gas Tech downtown, and we had to cross 2nd Avenue to get to the school from where the bus, dropped us off at. So me and my buddy, who rode together, we're having a conversation, and we're just walking, and, we've done this so many times, and without paying attention, I made the turn to step out into the street, 2nd Avenue, to cross over to the other side without looking. I'm looking to my right, talking to my buddy, but I'm stepping to my left out into the street. And as the timing would have it, there was a city bus coming by. I don't know, traveling maybe 35, 40 miles an hour, something like that. I literally stepped whole body, face first, into the middle of the side of the bus.
The side of the bus, not the front of the bus.
Not the front,
Okay.
the side of the bus.
Okay.
The impact spun me back up onto the sidewalk, and I was still standing. It didn't knock me down or anything. And I looked at my purse. I dropped my book bag, but I looked at my hands, myself, my face. I didn't have a scar on me. But if I'd done that a second earlier,
Yeah.
I would have just stepped in front of the bus.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, and ironically, I was totally uninjured, but my buddy looked at me and he kind of blinked like 3 or 4 times, like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And I literally stepped right into, how the buses have a poster, a sign
Yeah.
on the side of it?
Yeah.
I stepped right into it. It was the weirdest thing.
That is really weird. And again, it's one of those things I'm guessing, as you told the story so vividly, I'll never quite get over.
No.
Because that's just inches away from a completely different life or lack thereof.
Exactly.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. Tony Ortiz has a sports update. When we come back, Michigan names its captains, and one notable exception is left off the list. We'll talk about that next on 97.1 The Ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A radio.com sports station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Sold by MarkZ.com. Home runs from Jose Altuve, George Springer, and Martin Maldonado would give the Houston Astros a 6-3 win over the Tigers last night in Houston. Afterwards, Astros manager A.J. Hinch asked by reporters if that kind of power could possibly drive Houston to another World Series appearance this fall.
I don't know if it's a driving force, but it's a way we win. Sometimes, especially when we start the game with 2 homers, that's a great start. And George and Jose both jumpstart us a little bit. But we don't have to rely on the homer. I think that's one of the beauties of this offense. But when we do homer, everybody loves it. So it's part of our identity. It's not our entire identity as offense.
With that loss, by the way, the Tigers officially eliminated from the playoff race in the American League's Central Division. Meanwhile, Clayton Kershaw reaches a career milestone last night in the Los Angeles Dodgers' 16-3 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. That win, the 166th in Kershaw's career, that moves him past Hall of Famer Sandy Koufax for the most victories by a left-hander in Dodgers history. The Lions are headed back to the practice fields at Allen Park today as the work continues towards Friday night's preseason game at Ford Field against the Buffalo Bills. Oakland Raiders head coach John Gruden confirming for reporters yesterday that wide receiver Antonio Brown was able to practice while wearing a new helmet that was certified safe by the NFL. In spite of that development, Brown's grievance against the league over his old helmet still remains in place. The scouting website Pro Football Focus has named Michigan's Shea Patterson as the Big Ten's best quarterback going into the 2019 season. Overall, Pro Football Focus ranks Patterson as the 13th best signal caller nationally in Division I football. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, go to 971theticket.com.
Jamie, some goofball and a half in a red shirt.
And Stoney.
He's bare-chested and banging his chest.
On 97.1 The Ticket.
7:02 on a Wednesday morning. Jamie and Stoney, thanks for tuning by today. We greatly appreciate it. Coming up this hour, we have Tiger Indian tickets to give away for the game on Tuesday night, August the 27th. That's the first day of school for a lot of people. But chance to go back to Comerica Park. The Tigers take on the Tribe. Weather for today, muggy once again. Some moisture in the air. There's a chance of thunderstorm in spots. High of 87. Some people got slammed last night with some significant storms. Others not quite as much. As Tony told you, Tigers lost to the Astros last night 6-3. They will play again tonight. JV pitching against Daniel Norris.
Let me ask you a question.
7.
Correct.
Sorry.
I should read it down.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday, you know, I almost feel guilty because Tony even had the update. We mentioned briefly Michigan, announced that the captains were on Tuesday, on Monday. Ben Bredesen, Khalil Hudson, and Carlo Kemp. We actually mentioned it. I think with even Evan.
We talked about it with Evan and Anonymous. Oh, we were talking about sexy captains.
Yes.
Yes, because he had
the Fisher.
He had a
the Fisher woman.
He had a lady
The angler.
Fishes who was apparently very sexy.
Yes.
And she's been deemed the sexiest captain alive.
Emily Reimer or Emily Reimer or something.
We tried to compare her to other sexy captains.
Oh, right.
Captain Marvel.
Anyway, I digress.
Captain Kirk.
But
I don't find him very sexy.
But when we said the captains, it didn't even dawn on me. I don't know if it dawned on you. Shea Patterson, not the captain. Maybe I didn't expect it, but I remember when Connor Cook was not the captain. People went crazy. I didn't think it was that big of a deal because his teammates voted on it. It was no big. It was odd. Usually the quarterback is the captain.
Well, they were coming off a Rose Bowl victory.
Yeah.
I think that may have been part of it as well. And he was coming off a very good season. So if you're a Rose Bowl winning quarterback, usually, and maybe we can look this up on baseballreference.com, Rose Bowl winning quarterbacks who return for their junior or senior year are named captain X number percent of the time.
Yeah. So, Connor Cook, that became a huge story that he's not a leader. Shea Patterson thing just went over people's heads. And yesterday it was kind of brought up and kind of odd that he's not the captain.
Who brought it up?
I saw it on Twitter.
Okay.
Comparing the situations to Connor Cook. And then Michigan came out later and announced that Josh Metellus was the alternate captain for defense and Shea Patterson's the alternate captain for offense.
Oh. How convenient.
A's on their jersey.
I didn't know they had alternate captains.
Neither did I. Maybe it was they wanted to quell any hubbub, or maybe they were basically also receiving votes, and they just decided to announce them as they didn't quite make the cut, but they're highly respected. Is it a big deal? Because I don't think it is. Shea Patterson been there 2 years, and there are some people who believe that he's not even the best quarterback on the team. So I don't think it's a big deal. I personally didn't think it was a big deal for Connor Cook either.
I didn't.
But a lot of people did, and as we found out later by his draft stock, obviously some NFL teams took that into consideration along with other quote-unquote character issues is why he was not selected higher in the draft. And